Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm continuing with my Michael Jackson discography journey, and we're still in the year 1972 when he released his second studio album called Ben. Now, in the year 1972, he did release two albums. His debut solo album got to be there earlier in the year, which I already listened to last week. And now in August of 1972, he released his second album, Ben. There are 10 tracks on the album, and the album itself is 32 minutes. I'm looking at the track list, and none of the tracks look familiar to me, but like always, if I start listening to a song and it sounds familiar, I'll let you guys know. So I don't have anything else to say right now, so let's just get right into the album with track number 1, Ben. That was just tugging at my heartstrings. I was getting teary-eyed, and it was beautiful. I feel like I've heard this song before. The melody sounds strangely familiar, but I wish I had a friend like Ben. It does say here that Ben was Michael Jackson's first US #1 solo hit, and I can see why. It's a great song, it's beautiful, and I really enjoyed it. Ben also won a Golden Globe for Best Song. It was also nominated for an Academy Award for Best Original Song in 1973. It does say here that Michael lip-synced to the song at the Oscars ceremony, possibly because his vocal range had shifted since its recording. I mean, how can you not like this song? Honestly, how can you not like this song? It's so touching and it's absolutely beautiful. I loved it so much. So now let's move on to track number 2, Greatest Show on Earth.
Love is like a circus and the carnival is beautiful. Flying high like a man on the beast. Every day is a holiday. You got to get right away. It's the greatest show on earth. You'll be a part of the world of make-believe.
Alrighty, and that was track number 2, Greatest Show on Earth. I had so much fun listening to this track. It was a blast to listen to. I was dancing. As you just saw for yourself, this song is really enjoyable. I enjoyed myself. And just like his first album, I'm still really impressed with his voice considering how old he is. He was still only 13 years old when he put out this album, and it still sounds so professional, so clean, so mature sounding, and it's always a joy to listen to. I mean, this song, Greatest Show on Earth, it's a bop. It really is. It's a bop. So now let's move on to track number 3, People Make the World Go Round.
Teachers on strike, no more school today. They want more money with the board will pay. The air so polluted that it's hard to breathe. People make the world go round. They swear you a hippie if you have long hair. But that's what makes the world go round. The ups and downs, the carousel. Round and around and around. People make the world go round.
Alrighty, and that was track number 3, People Make the World Go Round, and This was a very powerful song lyrically, especially for a 13-year-old. This is a very mature sounding song. It's dealing with a lot of social commentary. Teachers on strike, no more school today. They want more money, but the board won't pay. Everybody's talking about ecology. The air's so polluted that it's hard to breathe. And then he goes on to say, old folks judge you by the clothes you wear. They swear you a hippie if you have long hair. Young politicians fight for poverty while people still cry for equality. And this is a 13-year-old singing the song. I know he didn't write the song, but still, a 13-year-old singing these lyrics, I mean, wow. I mean, this song is still very relatable even today in the year 2020. 48 years later. Oh my god. 1972 was 48 years ago, which in ways doesn't seem like a long time ago. 48 years itself doesn't seem like a lot of time. I know when you're a kid it feels like a lot of time, but as you get older, 48 years doesn't feel like a long time. And I do want to go back to track number 2 for a second, Greatest Show on Earth, because I just want to point out that I wonder if he knew back then. I mean, he could possibly have known. But who knew? Honestly, who knew? I wonder if there were people who knew that one day he would become the greatest show on earth. So now we'll move on to track number 4. We've got a good thing going.
Ooh, hey, my girl. She does something to my chemistry. Every day, yeah. In every way she makes my motor purr. So we got a good thing going, a real good thing going, yeah. I know it's gonna last eternally. Now let me tell you what we got. Understanding, yeah.
Alrighty, that was track number 4. We've got a good thing going. I really liked the production on this song, and I can't get over how, I mean, I've said this many times already, but I can't get over how mature these songs are for such a young child. I don't know, maybe it was different back then, but these just don't sound like songs that a 13-year-old would sing. She did something to my chemistry, and when I'm close, I'm sure. I raise her temperature by 3 degrees every day, in every way. She makes my motor purr, and I reciprocate. So now we're gonna move on to track number 5, Everybody's Somebody's Fool.
Everybody's somebody's fool. As you live, you learn. Though a torch will burn, you all have to answer to the one up above. Everybody's somebody's fool. Shabbat, shabbat.
Alrighty, that was track number 5, Everybody's Somebody's Fool. And I really liked the backup vocalists on this track and the harmonies. That was probably my favorite part. And his vocals were really good, of course, like always. But I will say, I really like the lyrics on this song. Everybody's somebody's fool. The world is the biggest school. As you live, you learn, though a torch will burn. You go through life making fools of others, pretending that you're giving them love. But remember, sister or brother, you all have to answer to the one up above. I mean, the things he's singing about on this album, I wish I knew when I was 13 years old. And I know quite a few of the songs on this album are covers. They were written by other people. But I feel like one of the themes of this album is teachers and being taught and being educated about life and the state of the world. So now we'll move on to track number 6, My Girl.
I got sunshine. You say what has made me feel this way. I got so much honey, but honey, what can make me feel this way? My love, my girl, my girl.
Alrighty, that was track number 6, My Girl. And yes, I do recall hearing this song before. I just don't know if it was Michael's version. It is a soul music song recorded by The Temptations, and it was written and produced by the Miracles members Smokey Robinson and Ronald White. This is probably one of my favorite tracks on the album. I really liked the production once again, and his voice sounds great, and just overall, I just really enjoyed the song. So now let's move on to track number 7, What Goes Around Comes Around. Alrighty, that was track number 7, What Goes Around Comes Around. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really feeling this song. It wasn't really grabbing me until it reached the middle. And then by the middle part towards the end, I ended up really enjoying it. And I really like the choir on this song. Now, I might be reaching here, but he does seem to be singing about things that go around, and obviously this is me reaching, but I like to pick up on little things like this. I like to pick up on little themes and what have you. In this song, he's singing about what goes around comes around. In other tracks, he also sings about a carousel. He brought up a carousel in more than one song. Also, track number 3, Make the World Go Round. He also sings about carousel. And track number 2, he sings about carousel. In track number 7, he sings about what goes around comes around. So there's a lot of going around and coming around themes on this album. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if I'm just reaching. I don't know if I'm just reading too much into it, but that's what I noticed. And when I think of what goes around comes around, I think of karma. Whatever you put out into the universe, you get back to you, going around in circles. Remember how I used to care when you were down? I dried your tears. Who do you think was the fool? I let you treat me so cruel. This is the moment of truth for you. Do you think your plane is through? I don't think I can trust you. Ooh, baby, what goes around comes around. I don't know, in my opinion, these are mature themes that a 13-year-old typically would sing about. What goes around comes around. I mean, when I was 13, I didn't think of these things. And I imagine Michael probably had some really great people around him, educated, great business people who taught him right from wrong, teachers, but obviously he was in the music industry, so I imagine he had to grow up pretty fast in the music industry. I am curious to know what Michael's education was like back then. He must have went to school. Did he go to university? I honestly have no idea what he did when it comes to his education and his schools. But anyway, let's move on to track number 8, In Our Small Way. Didn't I listen to this song already? I feel like I listened to this song already in my prior Michael Jackson video. So yes, on his debut solo album, he sang In Our Small Way, and now he is singing the song again on this album. I don't know why. So I did go back to In Our Small Way from his debut solo album, and they sound identical, so I'm gonna skip over this track because I listened to it already. So let's move on to track number 9. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-da-day. Okay.
Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-da-day. Curtains are tumbling, the world is crumbling because of you. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-da-day. The people wonder who hurt me. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-da-day. Maybe you didn't know that then. You're gonna leave her.
Alrighty, that was track number 9, shoo-be-doo-be-doo-da-day, and it's so weird saying that. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-da-day. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo-da-day. I just love saying it so much. Anyway, I really enjoyed this track. He sounds great on it. And I don't have much to say about it other than I just really enjoyed myself. And it says that it was co-written and originally recorded by Stevie Wonder in 1968. It also says here that Madonna paid homage to the song in her song Shoo-be-doo on her second album, Like a Virgin. Okay, it's all coming full circle now. So we've come to the end of the album. Track number 10, You Can Cry on My Shoulder.
Just because you know I love you so much. I don't wanna see you living without me. You can cry on my shoulder and breathe. You can cry on my shoulder. You can cry on my shoulder.
Okay, and that was the final track of the album, track number 10, You Can Cry on My Shoulder. I wasn't the biggest fan of this song, to be honest with you. It's probably my least favorite. It didn't really grab me. I don't have much to say about it other than I didn't really care for it. So that is all 10 tracks of Ben by Michael Jackson, his second solo studio album, and I really enjoyed myself, just like his first album. I'm just trying to decide which one I prefer more. His first album, Got to Be There, or this album, Ben. I think they're pretty even. I don't know which one I prefer more. I think I like them both equally. I think I might prefer his vocals and singing on his first album than this album, but I still really enjoyed his singing on this album, Ben, as well. His voice is still powerful, it's still professional and mature for someone his age, and I really enjoyed reading the lyrics on this album. I think I prefer the lyrics on this album compared to his first album. I know he didn't write the songs, some of these songs are covers, but I feel like he deals with more mature themes on this album. So in my opinion, I don't feel like this album is a step down at all from his first album. I feel like it's pretty on par, perhaps even maybe a step up. I love both his albums equally, his first album and his second album. It does say here that the album Ben received mixed reviews, but it was more successful on the charts than his previous album. I don't know, my personal opinion is that this album is just as good as his first one. So now that we're done Ben, in my next Michael Jackson video, we'll move on to his third studio album called Music in Me from 1973. So officially, I think that's all I wanted to say. What did you guys think of this album? What are your favorite tracks? How does this album compare to his first solo studio album? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer Got to Be There or Ben? And also share your knowledge with me about Michael Jackson at this time in his life. What was it like? What was he going through personally and within the business? Share your knowledge with me. And thanks for watching. So you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artist from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music, you can check out my playlists and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.